Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Alex Simpson and Conrad Venter for another Formula Renault 2.0 Academy Series race. We're at Monza, Conrad. Are you just getting yourself sorted, mate? We're just having a little look at what is the spectacular oval. Unfortunately, we won't see any of that tonight, not unless the drivers sneak down the pit lane and just have a little scout lap and have a bit of fun. It's yeah, it can be done. Have a play if you haven't done it. But still, a super fast track as well. These Formula Renaults, I think we're going to be in for a bit of a treat tonight. Going to be very difficult to break the draft around here. Obviously, we'll see a lot of drivers pulling off moves into turn one and turn the second chicane there as well. Parabolica is going to be great. I think this sort of car, this sort of performance, is really suited to this track as well, and especially when you want good, hard, close racing.
Yeah, I've done my 4 races for the week around Monza, and it's certainly been interesting, especially on the start and going into turns 1 and 2. There's been a bit of argy-bargy going on, but yeah, like I said, it's difficult to break the draft, but certainly not impossible. And especially for some of the pro drivers starting from the back, I'm sure we're going to see a great race.
Yeah, good old turn 1, turn 2, always tricky no matter what you do. And yeah, when you've got a whole load of cars, and I think the official sessions we can have sort of 20 odd cars screaming down into to turn 1. It's pretty tricky to say the least. I mean, it's a tough corner just to nail the apex and everything right when you're on your own, but when you've got a whole host of other cars all trying to jockey for position, it's not surprised we see the crash and carnage that we do. Justin just not there, just won't quite get his lap finished, but that's not a problem. He's still got no, he didn't get a reasonable call, I don't think. So Conrad, you in? Are you able to take us through the grid? Or?
Yeah, we've got Marcus Meyer taking pole position with 149.7. Second is Liam Williams. Third is Justin Hopp. Third place, we've got Diego with Kevin Daniels on fifth place. Sixth place is Jerome Brink. Then we've got Dennis Branch and Neil Middleton in seventh and eighth. William Moody, Scott Newton, Tom Depke, and Michael van der Ven. Up to 12th place. Then 13th place, John Godfrey, one of our academy drivers. Sebastian Gesch as well. Then 14th place, Stephen Karkner, and 15th. And then we've got Martin van Leusen, who are our resident pro driver, in 16th place, with McMario Malone in 17th.
Quantify your statement about John, one of the very original academy drivers. Was in here from word go, wasn't he? Way back in the day.
Yeah, I was talking to someone about John the other day, and I think he was our very first academy driver to sign up. I mean, he's like I say, he's been here right from the beginning.
And had a break, didn't he? He's just literally come back to it as well. So jumping in the Formula Renault. So good to see him actually make this race first one back in there. So got a bit of work to do with John. Right. Here we go then. So revs are already building, lights are on. We're going to be away here any second. Here we go at Monza. Looks like a great start. A little bit of wheel spin from everybody out there. Williams gets a great run. He's going to be alongside and have his nose just ahead going into turn 1. Great pole position lap from Marcus. Got Justin Hope just behind him as well. The front three all screen through the corner. A little bit of contact. Kevin Daniels and Dennis Branch there as well, and the 3 wide a bit further back. I think that's Scott Newton in the mix of that with Jerome Brink and William Moody. There's a lot of Apex livery cars out there now, as we've got our livery sorted out finally, so we'll do our best to try and let you know who is who.
Yeah, everybody got through the first chicane rather nicely. I think that's about the first time this week I've seen it. Second chicane is going to deliver its own set of problems. Everything looking good, and they have done it. Well, again, that's a first.
That's great. I think what points out to me, what stands out to me there, is that's the slight difference when all these guys know each other and they all work together throughout a week to try and help improve each other's performance, the respect that each of them give each other out there. So there's that much more room on the track compared to what would be a super competitive turn one where no one cares about anyone else and they just chuck it in.
Yeah, I think we've seen that in the previous weeks. That's been run as well. We've had some incidents, but it's really not. It's been accidents.
That's Neil Middleton. He's around. Got his car recovered and he's back underway. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Look, he didn't sort of hit the wall. Is he just going a bit deep? Let's have a quick look on a replay.
Oh, he caught one of those sausage curbs to the Scary, but he managed to save the car.
Yeah, like you say, just avoided the wall. Quick spin. Away she goes.
And no doubt Neil will be able to make up some time. He's a very quick driver, as we've seen in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
A couple of little individual battles going on there as well.
Wow, somebody's off. Sorry, John Godfrey. Just looks like he had a little lockup going into first chicane, or did he get a little tap? Yeah, he just got a little tap from behind, and that's straight over the curbs. He'll get a slow down penalty for that, but with the first chicane, you can pretty much keep your foot in it, and it will clear by the time you get to the second chicane.
Yeah, pro tip. Don't serve your penalty, just have at it. You're fine. I think we've got Scott Newton here as well with, I think Martin working his way back through the field, just got through, tucked up behind Kevin Daniels and Marcus Mayer as well. Marcus just going backwards at the minute after his qualifying. Great queue time, but down to 5th place as well, so just, yeah, I think it's pretty easy to do once you just get sort of stuck offline. You know, people, especially in the early going, just, you know, can really make moves very, very quickly as Martin has a look for what will become P6. He is indeed. Moves up and past Kevin. And he's got a great run out of the Scary chicane as well. And he'll use the slipstream there. Just behind you got Scott Newton and Kevin Daniels having a very, very similar battle as well. The front two are battling pretty heavily as well. Justin Hope just taken the lead. We'll switch to that in a second, because it looks like Williams is trying to get a run back on him as well.
I see you noticed that Martin van Loosen got the run on Marcus Meyer. Marcus Meyer actually pushing Martin down the straight. Bit of bump drafting in the Formula Renault. Impressive stuff.
Williams takes the lead back again. Let's jump back to this tracing pack. Really, the front two are just scrambling away at the moment. 3.1 seconds, and that's because they're exchanging positions out front, but they're doing it in a way where it's not really costing them any time. Good battle further back as well. Your own Brink just putting a move on Malone here as well. They've got Tom DePeck just ahead of them as well. Middleton closing back in as well after losing ground at the start, so he's got some ground to make back up.
Yeah, we've got the first two sort of just went side by side through the second chicane. That cost Liam Williams a little bit of time and allowed Dennis Branch just to close up a little bit as well.
Racing pack actually back to 2.5 seconds. You're right, it cost them both about a half a second there, so that's exactly what, you know, Dennis wants at in 3rd place right now. He'll want them to carry on battling really aggressively if they can, because it's the only way they're going to close up. I mean, what he's got a bit of a trump card behind him. If he can, if Martin overtakes him, if he can use that draft effectively to, you know, gain another couple of tenths of a second performance out there, then he might well be able to catch back up to the front two, as Scott Newton just takes Diego on the inside going into the Parabolica. Diego will get a great run. Scott running just a tiny little bit wide, managed to hold it out there, but I think he's going to be under an awful lot of pressure, and already Diego back and alongside. It's going to have to be the side draft to get it done. It's not easy. And actually, I think they're going to be a little bit vulnerable to some sense from Kevin Daniels by the time he gets there, closing in quickly, but it's got nowhere to go. You could just see he pulled out of it. These two very much late on the brake. Oh, look, it locks up, bumps over the curb, gets a little tap from behind. Oh, and they're round. I think there's a bit of netcode involved in there, unfortunately. but it looked like they had more than enough room there, so a bit unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, it was a big net code. I don't think you can really blame anybody for that. They left each other ample amount of space.
Steve Clark now closing in on, I think that's, yeah, Sebastian just ahead of him right now. Got a run down into the second chicane, late on the brakes, gets the move done, hits the apex as well, so no chance for Sebastian to sneak back past.
That's one thing about this.
Sorry, carry on.
That's one thing about this week that I found extremely difficult. It's just how busy the races have been, and in terms of fighting for your position and you know, just finding a little space where you can sort of settle down into a rhythm and just do your laps and try and catch up with the people in front.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just the nature of the track really just brings people together, doesn't it? So lots of little battles, and you kind of see that with like the Star Mazda as well. Exactly the same. The draft's not as large as the Star Mazda, but when you are close, it's just as effective. As Newton has a little look again, going to try and pull off another overtake, going into the Parabolica late on the brakes. Does that? That's Michael van der Vent just losing out there again, but once again Newton runs wide, and Michael's going to get the run.
We might have Steve Cockney and Moody running with a bit of damage. They were trying a little bit of side-by-side action on to Ascari on the previous lap, and that went wrong. They came together, both turned around. Their cars are not going to be in great shape. They're going to be carrying some kind of damage.
Got Newton runs in pretty deep into turn one again, but manages to get the move complete this time. Diego just trying to hold off Michael. All of a sudden Kevin Daniels has lost touch with the front guys as well, 3.5 seconds, so struggling a little bit out there.
Did Liam Williams just have a moment? He was just overtaken by Martin van Goosen.
Side by side, Martin using all of the track, shall we say. And then some. The one thing that surprises me, some tracks, right, you get it off track, don't you, for just the tiniest little bit off track. But here you can just run it out onto that and you're absolutely fine. Great little battle. Williams not willing to give it up. Doesn't care that Martin's been the man so far as the Cis car goes. He wants a piece of that action.
Yeah, it's kind of like the resistance of the old guard here with Liam Williams.
Yeah.
Trying to put the young gun in his place, but I'm afraid he's going to lose this battle most of the time.
I won't count it out yet.
And that was interesting to see. They just sort of started coming together through the Lesmos, and that gap to Justin Hobb has grown by a second and a half since then.
Oh, mine gets all out of shape in the turn one chicane there as well. Marcus Mayer back with them. Marcus second. You know, those first few laps really off pace, but seems to have picked it back up now and closing back in on Williams. So I really don't know what was going on at the start.
I think sometimes some drivers, like I said, you just need that first lap or two just to settle down into a rhythm and get your race going. But if you've got people all over the back of you and you've got to defend here and there and take different lines into the corners, it's really difficult just to get yourself going.
Yeah, I'm the same as well, and really, you know, that was a big thing for me to start off with. You know, some of the bigger races, you know, when they mean something to strength of field, when you're going for pro and things like that, you know, really, the old right leg used to shake a little bit. You know, weren't very good for good car control, that's for sure. But yeah, thankfully that's you know, with a bit of time and a bit of experience and some other, you can you know, you get that sort of stuff under control. So, you know, even some of these guys probably never been in a you know, a broadcast race before. You know, I bet that sort of plays on their mind just a little bit. We, you know, we do them 3-4 a week at least now, and you just don't think twice about it, do you?
No, I mean, sometimes we even forget that some races are getting broadcasted. And I know when I first started out, I think one of the new endurance races was one of the first races I was in that got broadcasted, and it was in the back of my mind the entire 2.5 hours, because you just think, I don't want to do anything stupid that's going to attract the attention of getting myself on the broadcast.
Oh.
Yeah,
Marcus
Marcus
just
leaving William a lot of space there in the braking zone.
Just chopped his nose off there. He's like, thank you, I'm through, I'm having this, and nothing really Liam could do. Good little battle though, 6 laps to go. This race is flying by, really short around here. I'm surprised it wasn't just a few more laps. Williams fighting back though, late under the brakes, gets the move done. It's going to have a bit of a compromised exit. Marcus just can't quite get the cutback, as Williams did sort of perfectly place his car there, so great driving from both of them. If anything, right now, I think Justin's pulling away from Martin. Last lap, he was a little bit behind, a little bit quicker, sorry, but only by 1/10 of a second. So yeah, Justin really showing he's got some pace out there.
Yeah, they're only separated by 1/10 of a second on the last lap. Marcus Meyer still behind Williams. Could have had a look at Williams through Ascari, but he decided not to. Might be a different story as they come into Parabolica.
Yeah, a little preview of what's going to come later on in the top split official series race as well. That will be on RaceSpot TV. That will be straight after our McLaren race. Here comes Meyer though. Pack's really spread out behind. These two really the only ones all of a sudden going at it. We had this, battles galore, and really calmed down.
I think we just had a few incidents that broke everything up a little bit. We've lost 2 drivers. We've lost Jordan Brunk. Malone is a lap down, but he's still running.
Yeah, Neil Middleton working his way up as well, needs a give a mention on that. So after his incident on the very first lap, back up to 11th, could still salvage a top 10.
Yeah, his last lap was a second quicker than that of Sebastian's, and nearly 2.5 seconds quicker than Diego's. So he'll definitely get himself into a battle by the end of it. There's still 4.5 laps to go.
Oh, Williams runs a little bit wide. He's going to lose a little bit of draft there as well. It's worth pointing out, Justin must have had a little mistake going somewhere in this lap, because the gap's down to 2.1 seconds, so nearly 9/10 of a second this lap.
It's almost like we're seeing a compressed version of the races that we normally cover on a Sunday afternoon. Sort of starts out frantically and then settles down a bit, and it's all just winding up nicely at the front with Justin and Martin for the lead for the end of the race, and also Neil Middleton catching the 2 guys in front of him rather quickly. Yeah,
second a lap, so he definitely should be able to get up towards them by the end, I would think. And it's almost 2 seconds lap to Diego as well, really dropped off all of a sudden. See what the gap is as they come across the line. 1.8 seconds, that's really come down this lap, so wait for the timing to update. A 150.4 against a 149.5. So I hate to say it, but it wasn't that Justin did anything wrong, because that's kind of been his pace. It's just that Martin just stepped it up all of a sudden.
It just goes to show it's entirely possible. Although difficult, it is possible to get yourself past somebody and break the draft in these cars around here.
Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as bad as like the sort of the Skippy or anything like that, you know, where you're going to get like 1.5 second draft, and it's almost impossible to break it if you're sort of like a 10th or 2 slower. Here you I think the Skippy's more than 10th or 2. You can be about half a second to a second a lap slower nearly, can't you, and keep with it. So these ones are, a few tenths faster, and you can break away. Gap down, look at my live timing, is 1.6 seconds, so it's closing in very, very rapidly. Williams just starting to lose a little bit of momentum on Meyer, but Meyer runs a little bit wide. Give Williams a bit of motivation just to carry on pushing. 7/10 of a second that gap after his mistake where he almost, well, he did lose the draft. Hopefully he should be able to get it back here, and we'll have battles going on throughout the podium. Wait and see what the lap times are again. A 1:49.6 for Justin, so Justin even steps it up that lap somewhat. It says fastest lap of the race. I don't know if Martin's had an off track or two. They do have an instant limit of 17, so perhaps Martin's just extending a little bit just to try and eke a little bit more performance out of that car.
Yeah, well, that was a 49.1, so still got 6 tenths into the lead of Justin there. And 2.5 laps to go. It's sort of at this time where I normally get a little bit jittery, because I look at who's behind me, who might be quicker, and then I start doing little math to see how much time I can sacrifice per lap in order to stay in front of them.
Yeah, and right now for Justin, that's none.
Exactly.
Can't afford to lose any time whatsoever. He needs to deliver like the best laps of his life right now, just to try and stay out of the draft. It's 2.5 laps to go at this point. So what will happen is if he can at least keep it, so Martin has a run on the perhaps the last lap, then he's got a chance to come back at him. He's going to be close enough to have a move back. It's not going to be easy, but I do feel that we know how confident Martin is. He will, if he gets a run, he will go for it.
I think Justin they've got 2 laps left at the end of this one, and I think Justin's got enough pace in him to at least keep up in the draft with Martin. And if he can give himself a chance of having a run down into Parabolica on the last lap, then he's gonna have every chance to win.
Yeah, Neil Middleton 1.5 seconds behind Sebastian as well, so that battle's going to be on the last lap, I'm sure, as well. Not got enough to catch Diego. 7/10 of a second as they cross the line. Williams has lost the back of Marcus as well, so Marcus' last lap, a 1:49.7, so he really did have the pace at the start there. I don't know, perhaps did he get a slowdown or something that we didn't see, which is what set him so far back, but it really cost him, and he's had to fight his way back through the traffic as well, and both drivers perhaps just a little bit out of shape through the second chicane. Mine already gets a great run, has a look down into the first Lesmo. Justin leaves in the room, very courteous of him there. I'm sure I'd have squeezed him. Now, Conrad, what do you do, Justin? You just got to hold in there and try and get a move down into to turn 1.
Yeah, you just gotta concentrate on hitting your marks right now. Just a mistake will lose him the draft and that opportunity to win. And if I was him, looking at Martin's pace, I would try and keep in that draft. From what I've seen so far this week, if you on this run down to Parabolica, if you can get behind and alongside the car in front of you, and go side by side down the inside, then it's very difficult for the car on the outside to hold the position and cross the line before you, coming out of the corner.
Yes, it's all about nailing this then. So does he go for it? Does he stay there? I think he will have an opportunity to perhaps have a run. 0.2 of a second is the gap. It's closing all the time. On the brakes late there. Does get it done. Great move. Got to hold on to it now though.
Justin on the brakes really late there. Did really well to keep that in the corner and not run too deep or across the curbs. And he's going to try and defend into the second chicane here as well. I'm afraid that is going to be a lost cause. It's got a bit of a compromised entry. Martin runs wide though.
Martin very good through the Lesmos there. Through the first one. Pulls away. Justin still got an opportunity. Good exit out of Lesmo 2 as well. 0.4 of a second back. Can definitely close that in. Just needs to absolutely nail Ascari now. And like you say, get that run down and into the Parabolica. A late move there, and it's just going to be a drag race to the start-finish line. This is not over by any means.
Yeah, you do suffer from understeer. Oh, that's going to be the race, I'm afraid.
He knew how important that was, and like you say, I think he just clipped the sleeping policeman there, and that just completely unsettled the car. You saw just all out of shape through the second phase of the chicane, and unfortunately totally compromises his exit speed. Can't do anything even with the draft. Hands the race there to Martin without a challenge through Parabolica. But yeah, impressive nonetheless from Justin. Definitely picking up pace, and will be one that's going to take a victory, I'm sure, in this series.
Yeah, it was a brilliant drive. It was a little bit of a heart and throat moment there, going through Ascari. So like I said, you do get a bit of understeer if you're so close behind another car going through there. Scott Newton beats William Moody to the line as well, just right there at the last minute. William Moody seems to be dropping down a little bit. Was he had an issue?
Yeah, it just seems to be off the track somewhere, and Neil Middleton couldn't close in on Sebastian, was keeping an eye on that, so everyone else pretty much stays as they were. Sorry for those that didn't get an awful lot of coverage tonight. Well, Conrad, that was quick. We've got to obviously head on over to the McLaren race very, very shortly, but do you want to just run down the order for me?
Yeah, Martin van Loosenweerd starting from 16th and taking the win. Very impressive drive. And second place we had Justin Hoppers, Marcus Meyer in third, Liam Williamson fifth, Liam Williamson fourth, and Dennis Branch in fifth. Sixth place was Kevin Daniel, Scott Newton in seventh, Michael Van Den in eighth place, Diego in ninth, and 10th place we had Sebastian. Neil Middleton making his way up to 11th after a race spin. John Godfrey in 12th place. Tom Decker in 13th. Stephen Gartner in 14th place. William Moody in 15th. Mario Malone in 16th. And then we had the one non-finisher of Jordan Brink.
Yeah, not sure what happened with Brink there. I think he was there on track, so some issues about 8 laps in, so unfortunate for him. Good race though, nonetheless. I think every week these Formula Renaults just deliver. I'm really looking forward to seeing the SOF race later on tonight. I think it's going to be great. Really hard to separate them apart. What do you reckon? What do you reckon, Conrad? Could be like some sort of 3 wide for the finish or something.
Yeah, I mean these guys they failed, or they don't fail to deliver each week, and I mean, with the nature of the track, I can just see something epic is going to happen.
Right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Great race from Martin. Justin really standing out as well. Marcus Meyer definitely going to be one to watch as well. Good race pace performance there, and yeah. Let's keep an eye on the SOF later on. That'll be over on Race Spot and iRacing Live. But if you fancy a little bit of McLaren action, I think it'll be yourself and you're just generally having a bit of a chin wag on air, wasn't it, Conrad? The way the McLaren series is right now. But nonetheless, we'll be heading over there in just a couple of minutes. So join us there. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another round of the Academy Formula Renault 2.0 series.